Picture a child with an angelic face. But behind those innocent eyes lies a power so dark and malevolent that it commands legions of demons. This is Valak, the demon whose story is far more terrifying than any Hollywood film could ever depict. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Valak, a name that might send shivers down your spine, has captured the imaginations of many through its terrifying portrayal in modern horror films like The Conjuring 2 and The Nun. But the real Valak is a figure far removed from the monstrous nun depicted on screen. The true story of Valak is deeply rooted in ancient texts, where it is described as a powerful demon with dominion over 30 legions of spirits, capable of revealing hidden treasures and secrets. In the Lesser Key of Solomon, a 17th century grimoire, Valak is depicted not as a grotesque creature, but as a young boy riding a two-headed dragon, holding the power to summon serpents and reveal the mysteries of the world. This demon's childlike appearance is deceptive, masking an entity with immense knowledge and power, one that has been feared and revered by occultists for centuries. Yet, how did Valak, an obscure figure in the annals of demonology, transform into the fearsome nun that haunts the nightmares of millions today? This narrative will take you on a journey through the ages, from Valak's origins in ancient grimoires to its evolution in medieval demonology, and finally to its reinterpretation in modern culture. We will explore how Valak has been shaped by the fears, beliefs, and imaginations of people throughout history, ultimately becoming one of the most enigmatic and terrifying figures in both occult lore and popular culture. By the end, you'll see that Valak is not just a figure of fear, but a complex and multifaceted demon whose story reflects the changing nature of evil in the human imagination. So, let's dive into the dark and mysterious world of Valak and discover the demon behind the myth. To truly understand Valak, we must first delve into the ancient roots of demonology, where the lines between gods, spirits, and demons were often blurred. While the specific origins of Valak are somewhat elusive, its characteristics, command over serpents, the ability to find treasures, and a deceptive appearance, suggest that it may be influenced by earlier myths and deities associated with wisdom and hidden knowledge. In many ancient cultures, serpents were symbolic of both danger and wisdom, and those who could control them were often seen as possessing great power. Valak, with his command over serpents, might have evolved from these ancient beliefs. The demon's ability to reveal hidden treasures and knowledge aligns with the roles of ancient gods and spirits who were guardians of secrets. This concept of a childlike figure holding vast, hidden power reflects a common theme in mythology: the idea that appearances can be deceiving, and that true power often lies in unexpected forms. Valak's most famous historical mention comes from the Lesser Key of Solomon, specifically within the Ars Goetia, a 17th century grimoire that catalogs demons and their attributes. Here, Valak is described not as a monstrous creature, but as a child with the ability to summon serpents and locate treasures, an image that contrasts sharply with the fearsome nun of modern horror. In the Ars Goetia, Valak, also known as Valak, is depicted as a young boy riding a two-headed dragon. This depiction is both fascinating and unsettling. It combines the innocence of a child with the power and ferocity symbolized by the dragon. The dual-headed dragon represents a creature of immense strength and cunning, further emphasizing Valak's control over dark forces. Valak's abilities, as described in the grimoire, are also intriguing. He is said to know the locations of hidden treasures and can reveal where serpents dwell. These powers made Valak a sought-after demon by those who practice the dark arts, as his knowledge could bring both wealth and protection. However, summoning and controlling such a powerful entity came with great risk, as Valak's true nature, whether benevolent or malevolent, was always uncertain. The contrast between Valak's childlike form and his dark abilities likely contributed to the demon's allure and mystery. This duality, innocence combined with danger, makes Valak a particularly compelling figure in the world of demonology. It's this very contrast that would eventually lead to the demon's evolution into a more fearsome entity in later interpretations. As we move into the medieval period, the study of demons became more formalized, with scholars and clerics dedicating their efforts to cataloging and understanding these malevolent forces. During this time, Valak's image began to evolve as demonology grew in complexity. The medieval church, which saw demons as manifestations of pure evil, began to interpret figures like Valak not just as powerful spirits to be summoned, but as entities embodying the darker aspects of human nature. In medieval and Renaissance demonology, Valak's reputation as a treasure hunter and master of serpents became intertwined with the broader fears of witchcraft, heresy, and the unknown. The childlike demon began to be seen as a symbol of deceit, appearing innocent but harboring the potential for great harm. This shift in perception was part of a larger trend where demons were increasingly portrayed as malevolent beings to be feared, rather than as tools to be controlled. Scholars of the time would compile these demonic figures into grimoires, warning of their dangers while also providing rituals for their summoning and control. Valak, with his seemingly contradictory nature, represented the unpredictable and dangerous side of the supernatural, an entity that could grant power, but at a potentially devastating cost. This period also saw a rise in artistic depictions of demons, with Valak sometimes represented in illuminated manuscripts as a young boy or even a cherubic figure, emphasizing the deceptive nature of evil. This visual portrayal added to the demon's mystique, suggesting that evil could come in many forms, even those that appeared harmless at first glance. These medieval and Renaissance interpretations laid the groundwork for Valak's continued evolution, setting the stage for the demon's reemergence in modern culture as an icon of fear and power. As we transition from the Renaissance into the modern era, the figure of Valak underwent significant reinterpretations within various occult practices. Occultism, which saw a resurgence during the 19th and early 20th centuries, often sought to reclaim and redefine the powers of ancient demons, with practitioners seeing these entities not solely as embodiments of evil, but as powerful spirits that could be harnessed for personal gain or spiritual enlightenment. In this context, Valak's abilities as a treasure finder and master of serpents were viewed through a new lens. Instead of being merely a symbol of deceit or danger, Valak was increasingly seen as a gatekeeper to hidden knowledge and wealth. Occultists believed that invoking Valak could unlock secrets of the world, both material and esoteric. His childlike form was interpreted by some as representing purity of intent or a connection to the primal forces of nature, further distancing the demon from the purely malevolent depictions of earlier centuries. During this time, various rituals and spells were developed with the intent of summoning Valak. These practices were detailed in new grimoires and occult literature, which often blended traditional demonology with contemporary spiritual beliefs. For some, Valak became a symbol of the duality of power, representing both the potential for great good and great harm, depending on the intent of the summoner. However, this period also saw the beginning of Valak's transformation into a more sinister figure once again. As the line between occultism and popular horror began to blur, Valak's image started to shift back towards its darker roots, setting the stage for its eventual depiction in modern media. Valak's journey through history has also been marked by its influence on literature and art. From medieval manuscripts to modern novels, the demon's image has inspired countless creators, each adding their own interpretation to the myth. In literature, Valak's role has often been that of a mysterious guide or a malevolent trickster, an entity that offers power at a price. Authors have used Valak as a symbol of the dangers of ambition and the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. In some stories, Valak is portrayed as a Faustian figure, offering protagonists a chance at greatness, only to lead them down a path of destruction. This portrayal taps into the age-old fear of making deals with dark forces, a theme that resonates across cultures and eras. In the world of art, Valak's depiction has ranged from the innocuous to the terrifying. Renaissance artists, who often portrayed demons in religious contexts, depicted Valak as a cherubic figure, underscoring the theme of deception. More modern depictions, especially in horror art, have taken a darker turn, emphasizing the demon's connection to the occult and the supernatural. These images often draw on Valak's association with serpents and treasure, creating a visual representation of the demon as both a guardian and a threat. Valak's influence on art and literature has helped solidify its place in the cultural imagination, ensuring that the demon remains a compelling and enigmatic figure, capable of both alluring and terrifying those who encounter its story. Valak's journey through history has also been marked by its influence on literature and art. From medieval manuscripts to modern novels, the demon's image has inspired countless creators, each adding their own interpretation to the myth. In literature, Valak's role has often been that of a mysterious guide or a malevolent trickster, an entity that offers power at a price. Authors have used Valak as a symbol of the dangers of ambition and the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. In some stories, Valak is portrayed as a Faustian figure, offering protagonists a chance at greatness, only to lead them down a path of destruction. This portrayal taps into the age-old fear of making deals with dark forces, a theme that resonates across cultures and eras. In the world of art, Valak's depiction has ranged from the innocuous to the terrifying. Renaissance artists, who often portrayed demons in religious contexts, depicted Valak as a cherubic figure, underscoring the theme of deception. More modern depictions, especially in horror art, have taken a darker turn, emphasizing the demon's connection to the occult and the supernatural. These images often draw on Valak's association with serpents and treasure, creating a visual representation of the demon as both a guardian and a threat. Valak's influence on art and literature has helped solidify its place in the cultural imagination, ensuring that the demon remains a compelling and enigmatic figure, capable of both alluring and terrifying those who encounter its story. In The Conjuring 2 and The Nun, Valak is depicted as a horrifying, malevolent spirit, taking the form of a twisted nun to sow fear and chaos. This portrayal is a creative interpretation that plays on the idea of corrupted innocence, a powerful symbol that resonates deeply with audiences. The decision to portray Valak in this way is rooted in the psychological fear of the familiar being turned into something terrifying. The image of a nun, traditionally associated with piety and safety, being transformed into a vessel for evil, is both shocking and memorable. This cinematic portrayal has had a profound impact on how Valak is perceived in modern culture. The terrifying nun has become an iconic figure in horror, eclipsing the demon's historical origins. However, this version of Valak, while fictionalized, draws on the same themes of deception and hidden danger that have always been part of the demon story. Beyond the films, Valak has become a popular figure in internet mythology and pop culture. Memes, fan art, and online stories have further cemented Valak's status as a horror icon. The internet has allowed for the rapid spread and reinterpretation of Valak's image, with each new portrayal adding to the demon's mythos. This modern-day cult following often blurs the lines between fear and fascination. For some, Valak is a figure of terror, representing the ultimate evil. For others, it's a symbol of power and the unknown, a reminder of the mysteries that still elude human understanding. The rise of Valak in internet culture reflects a broader trend of reimagining ancient figures for contemporary audiences, mixing traditional lore with modern sensibilities. Today, Valak is more than just a character in a movie. It's also a figure in modern occult practices. Some contemporary occultists and spiritualists have embraced Valak, incorporating the demon into rituals and ceremonies. These practices often focus on Valak's traditional attributes, such as its ability to find hidden knowledge and treasures, while also acknowledging its more fearsome aspects. There are reports of modern-day rituals designed to summon Valak, often conducted with the intent of gaining insight or power. These practices, while not widespread, indicate that Valak's influence persists beyond the screen, continuing to captivate those who seek to explore the darker side of spirituality. Testimonials from those who claim to have encountered Valak in ritual settings vary. Some describe the experience as enlightening, while others speak of the fear and danger associated with invoking such a powerful entity. These accounts contribute to the ongoing mystique of Valak, ensuring that the demon remains a figure of both fascination and fear in the modern world. Valak's journey from an obscure demon in the Lesser Key of Solomon to a modern horror icon is a testament to the power of myth and imagination. Over the centuries, this entity has evolved, taking on new forms and meanings, yet always retaining its core attributes of deception, power, and mystery. Valak's story reflects the changing ways in which humans have understood and engaged with the concept of evil. From its origins as a spirit of hidden knowledge to its reimagining as a fearsome nun, Valak embodies the fears and desires that have shaped human culture across the ages. As we've seen, Valak is not just a demon, but a mirror reflecting the anxieties and curiosities of different eras. Its evolution from ancient texts to modern media reveals much about our changing relationship with the unknown, the supernatural, and the concept of evil. In a world where the line between reality and fiction often blurs, Valak stands as a reminder of the enduring power of myth. It challenges us to question what we fear and why, and to consider how the stories we tell shape our understanding of the world. If you've been intrigued by Valak's story, there's so much more to explore in the world of demonology and ancient myths. Check out more of our videos for deep dives into other mysterious figures, and share your thoughts or experiences with Valak in the comments below.